get yourself selected? This is a big nightmare for everybody, I know, and it is the big question that kind of everybody asks. So the first main thing I would say is do the research on the festival that you're actually applying for, okay? If you haven't got notice, we are kind of a free festival. We have to work on grants, we have to raise sponsorship, alright? So if you're going to price yourself out of the market, we're not going to be able to do anything with you, kind of, but we would like to promote people, kind of thing. So really, have a look, see exactly what they want, alright, and see if you're in that kind of area. When you're actually applying to festivals, don't give a whole essay on things. So if you keep it concise, alright, give the facts, okay, things that people will want to see, kind of. So your genre, okay, that would be a good idea, kind of keep that sweet and kind of and short, concise to the point, and give the facts, and also always send a video link, alright? Generally, it's better if we get live links, because the things we do, it's live music, we don't tend to use backing. Try and actually kind of say, you want to actually engage with your audience. If you're just going to stand on the stage and kind of and play music, that's fine for you, but it's not very entertaining, or you won't get the audience engaged, alright? Really, if you're up there, a bit of banter with them, kind of, you know, show personality, alright? Move about a bit if you can, kind of, but just don't just stand there. You do need a bit of a kind of encouragement for the audience to get involved with you, because then they'll enjoy the performance as well then, alright? Okay, the other thing is, we're in Sleepy Hollow in Wales, which I know when you're in England you think it's miles away. We're not that far away, but it is actually worth doing a bit of travelling. Alright, you never know where you're going to end up and who might be there. Alright, so it's worth travelling, kind of, and getting yourself out of it, because you can do things in the local vicinity and then you're well known there, but actually you need to get out further afield. Now, the don'ts. When you're describing your genre, don't go into a very convoluted idea, alright? Kind of rock would be good, or kind of acoustic, or kind of, you know, something simple, because we've had some coming through this year. We've got about 5 or 6 genres, all classed in the same sentence. That to me, I think is a very confused musician. It's kind of on the festival. What we actually do is we have a kind of limit when we actually do our kind of applications. Okay, so we actually have a list of things that we actually like you to give us. One of them is any credits you've done, anything you've done that you can kind of shout to the housetops that you've actually done it, you've got somewhere. Okay, that's good, but we don't need a whole kind of like, you know, a few lines of your main ones, your most recent ones, or the ones that you think that are the kind of most influential. If a festival approaches you, please don't increase your fee. To start off with, that is, okay? When you're kind of well known in your local area, that's fine. Everyone knows you. You can kind of up your price slightly. Thing is, when you go out of your area, people don't know you, so you've actually got to get that kind of following going again. If a festival asks you, it's a really good platform to start on. Well, I would say it was a really good platform to start on, okay? So I would take it as a compliment and use the stage that they actually provide to actually progress it. When you actually get onto stage, you need to sell yourselves, kind of be proud of what you're doing, and kind of get the confidence to kind of go on to bigger and better things. For a festival, if you're going to do a set on your own, or with a band, whoever you're with, really you need to have at least a set of, say, half an hour to 3/4 of an hour that you could actually provide entertainment, because when festivals are actually setting things up, they have slots that they actually need to fill. So rather than just doing open mic, you can do your 1 or 2 songs. That's good for building your confidence. Also, otherwise, if you can get into kind of like the fun day festivals, that they actually have different people, just say doing 1/4 of an hour sets, you can sometimes do that. We have one up in Ross that's just a festival for a day, but they have smaller, kind of shorter kind of performance times on. You could get onto those. And then, kind of, if you have your set ready, do for about an hour, kind of, then you can actually apply. I would say then, for festivals, you do need to have kind of enough. We have actually had some up and coming, we've tried, and when they've actually turned up, they haven't had enough material to actually, they've said all along they haven't had enough to kind of fill the hour.
So Music Plus Sport, we're a music promoter, so we put on and organise market concerts all over England. So predominantly, as the name says, we put them on in sporting venues, so racecourses, rugby stadiums, cricket grounds, so big capacity venues. And we put them on in kind of areas that wouldn't normally get that level of artists. So our biggest one, really, we have like 10 nights there a year, is Newmarket in Cambridge, and that's got a capacity of like 17,000. Obviously, in a little town in Cambridge, you wouldn't really get something of that size, so we bring like Little Mix, PALOMA Faith to those kind of areas that wouldn't normally get it.
How do you currently find new artists, or how do you go around discovering new artists? So just these guys know this is the platforms we need to be on.
Me personally,
this is the data that someone your age is checking out, and this is how you're discovering artists and what is going to be a good fit for them.
Okay, so me personally, I discover a lot of new artists through friends' recommendations, mainly, because obviously I have a lot of friends in the industry, and they're normally working on a new campaign, and they're like, oh, have you heard this? This is really cool. This gig's going on. Do you want to come? And I'm just like, okay, I'll come, and then I'll find out whether I like them or not.
You mean?
Yeah, because it's London-based. It's just easy to do because there's always something going on. But otherwise, I will find artists through Spotify playlists, normally.
Have you got any specific Spotify playlists that you're checking out?
I always listen to New Music Friday, always, but obviously that's one of the bigger ones.
And how do these guys get onto new music? Because I know it is a specific Spotify playlist, isn't it?
Yeah.
You might not know how they get onto it, but are you saying that is a very specific industry one that a lot of people in your position will look at? And is that something these guys should be aiming at with their music, to try and get onto New Music Friday just through Spotify?
Yeah, because
would that do them a lot of favours?
I don't think everyone that's on that playlist is signed. Like, I've had friends that have been on that playlist. And then, obviously, what's another good one? Like, UK Viral Top 50. Because that just shows the most popular songs, like, of the day. So, obviously, you'll get the bigger ones in there that everyone is listening to, but then you will get some that crop up that are, say, it's an artist in Leeds or something that everyone in Leeds is listening to, but someone in Devon probably will never have heard of them, but they'll be on that playlist.
Okay. And how important is Facebook still, Twitter, things like that?
Facebook is good, but Facebook and Instagram, they're quite tricky, I think, with their algorithms and things, because I work in social media, so the way that people see posts, I think as a new person, it's getting harder to navigate, because it changes quite often. Like, Instagram used to be chronological, so that was really easy, but now in your feed you'll have people that posted something from 4 days ago, so the new post isn't necessarily coming to the top of someone's feed, so you're kind of banking on someone to do a hell of a lot of scrolling just to find one post. Instagram is really tricky. I find Instagram the hardest, actually.
Just for discovery?
Well, yeah, and for posting out content on this, like, it just doesn't translate as well. It's really hard work. I think as an artist, it might be a little bit easier, but to market like an actual show is hard.
So any other tips or advice then on people approaching new artists? What was your experience even from uni and coming into emailing people, communicating with people, networking with people? Did you pick up any good advice from that?
Especially if you're sending your music in an email, never send it as a file, just send it as a link. So much easier. It saves space, it'll save time. If there's an attachment, I'm probably not going to open it. So yeah, just send it as like a SoundCloud link or a Spotify link.
Yeah.
Or something, or a YouTube link, like anything. Just don't send an actual file.
You're totally right with the volunteer thing as well, which is something I hadn't thought of. That's a great route for artists to get into, just volunteering and helping out on those stages. Yeah,
definitely. So I was venue assistant for 2 days, so just helping sort out bands, riders, and making sure that there wasn't too many people in the venue, capacity stuff, just really easy stuff. And then one day I was like spectator guide or something like that, and it was raining, and I was just stood there with my little umbrella like, this is great. But the venue assistant side was really good, and it does look really good on your CV, and you will meet people.
What's happened here is you've gone to college, you've done the standard course that everyone does, you've gone to uni, but it's the volunteering thing. The volunteering leads onto the internships, because I can
Yeah.
imagine that these guys would have probably had hundreds of people who want an internship. You know, everyone wants to work at a company like this, and you'll be working with these type of artists, but they'll be looking at your CV and going, she's volunteered at a festival, she's been walking dogs,
Yeah.
she's working in a bar.
Proactive. Just
All
be
that
proactive.
type of stuff, adds into the mix really, of making them think, yeah, this is someone that we would want to take on for an internship. The internship, when you do well at it, leads into a job. So
Yeah. Obviously, our level is quite high, but for you guys to reach that, I would just say, like, just perform anywhere you can. Like, there must be so many, like, local showcases and things like that. Just literally gig as much as you can, and then when you get to a certain level, maybe when you can sell out a venue around here that's like 200 people or something like that, once you reach that, maybe look at I didn't know about this until I was at uni, but you can look at like doing gig swaps with like people in other towns. So you can like look through Facebook and see those kind of venues in that area, what they're putting on, and if there's an artist that's similar to you, just contact them. Like, then you could probably just message them through Facebook and say, like, we can sell out a venue of this size down here, you guys can obviously do it up there, but you've never played our area, we've never been up to Leeds, and can we have you as a support on our show, and we'll come and support you at yours, and then you'll get in so many different audiences, and maybe that's a good way to start going across the country. That's what I would do anyway. But yeah, just gig as much as possible, and someone will notice you through that.
I know with gig swaps as well, it's always a good idea. You've got to organise a gig first to get the swap. So you've got to say, right, I've got a show booked in Southampton, this is my hometown show, I need support for it. Contact the artist you'd like to swap with and say, can you come down and support me? And then you've got to give me support back.
Yeah.
So it's not, can we do a gig swap at some point? You've got to go to the plan first
Yeah.
and say, this is my gig, let's
Yeah.
swap it.